Welcome everyone one more time to another day of Be Agile Scrum. We are in week of 3, I guess. Yeah. Anyone here for the first time? You are attending here for the first time. It's your day one with us live. Okay. We'll ask again after a few time. A few minutes. So let's continue to get started from where we had left off. But before I begin, let me quickly give you a reminder. Reminder is nothing but a quick code of honor, and here is the one that will remind us for the deal between you and me, and you and your placement. And that is, first is the code of honor that asks you to show up live, because Agile is full of ceremonies, and that demands you to be on time, remain punctual, and remain highly committed. In case you are not practitioner of it, continue to do so, considering this training itself as a project. And once you will find yourself doing habitually, you will find yourself will be quite easy once you get placed as well to follow. And it is also said that makes you easy to follow. That is how you do anything is how you do everything. And second, because you choose to learn, you become the student. And we don't want you to be the student, we want you to be the full stack student who does all the assignments, do self research, and repeat what you learn. And the third one, while you do all these things, it's quite easy to complete what you start and hit the success. It's easy quite for you to take the full responsibility of success. But at the same time, when you do these all elements, what is asked, you may not hit the success, but may hit the failure. And remember to embrace it, acknowledge it, and thereby go back and accept it, so that you can go back and correct it. And then you will realize that failure was not a failure, that became trail to the success. So be ready to take the uh, full responsibility of both the element. The first one, when you finish what you start, and when you don't, what you uh, don't even start, or start and leave the live in the midway. The fourth one, to do so, it really requires a concrete mindset. The very first one is inspired from the Kaizen's continuous learning, asks you to be the um, ask you to do the continuous improvement. And for that, it really requires a concrete learning mindset. More learning minded you will become, you will find yourself growing more positively. More positive minded you will become, you will find growing more complaint free, in a way that you can perform even in a stringent timeline, and deliver even with a lack of resources. More complaint free, you will find yourself growing more in gratitude, in a way that you can lead to the highest level of productivity. How, I'll tell you shortly. And remember to follow the fifth code of honor that asks you to start your day with the highest level of receptivity. And for that, there is one audio program for which I recommend you to participate in. That is the 30 days challenge. Only the thing is that this is a recommendation, not the mandate. So you can just send me 30 DC as a text, and you will get the link to start listening every single day without any break. And in case you break, you need to start from day one. And that is to increase your highest level of receptivity, so that in a way that every single outcome of activity will grow more positively for you. And second, because you're learning technology, and or any technicality, if you need to learn, or any new thing you need to learn, always apply golden quadrant of learning. That comes with the 4 phases, 4 steps. The very first one is declaration with the anchor. What is declaration? What is the anchor? The detailed information has been given in the day one's recording. In case you have not attended by any chance day one, please do attend that. In a way, just go through the recording in a way that you are attending them live without missing any single element. You will have a really detailed idea what exactly I'm talking about here. And then take a deep dive towards the deep learning. This will become the 2 steps. These will become the 2 steps. Third and fourth, you need to follow. The draw is that whatever you have learned after 24 hours, you need to draw on a piece of paper. After 24 hours so that you can recall maximum what you retain in your memory and then summarize it back in less than 90 seconds, not and maximum up to 3 minutes, not more than that, in a way that even 5 years old can understand, and submit it into the group in a video form. And let's do that from first and second by following here. Third and fourth, I will leave on you. So let's get started with the declaration with the anchor. Anchor, you know what is going to be. I'll just say 1, 2, 3 and clap. That is the self fi. You will do that, repeating after me. The declaration is the statement that is selected on your screen. So unmute yourself and quickly tell me yes if you can see the selected statement on your screen, everyone.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, everyone.
Yes.
So let's
Yeah.
continue and model me. So 1, 2, 3 and clap, and then repeat. I'm a quick learner.
I'm a
I'm
quick
a
learner.
quick learner.
What others can learn and master,
What
What
others
others
can
can
learn
learn and
and
master,
master,
I too can do that.
I too
I
can
too can
do
do
that.
that.
One more time with the next statement. 1, 2, 3 and clap and repeat. Because I'm a quick learner,
Because
Because
I'm
I'm
a
a
quick
quick learner,
learner,
today's learning is going to be
today's
today's
learning
learning
is
is
going to
going
be
to be
super duper easy to me.
super
super
duper
duper
easy
easy to me.
to me.
Yes, it is going to be because you said so. And remember, in case you found it a little awkward to do so, remember the sixth code of honor that asks you to be the giver, keeping ego away on the path of learning, that keeps you more spiritually grounded on the path of growth. Spiritually grounded means your happiness level increases. Happiness is today's new productivity, and that's the demand of the corporate. And you are here not just to get placed into corporate and also to earn more. And it is said that what you more of, you want more of, you must start giving away the portion of. And for that very reason, it is again the recommendation. Many of my students are following and doing that. You can be the one of them as well. And that is to start giving away 5% of 10% of your earning in the causes wherever you believe in. Or in case you are not earning, can you have an place and intent that you will start giving away 5% of 10% your earning once you get placed. And what could be those causes? That causes could be feeding hungry children, donating into orphanages, or donating into old age home, or even in churches, gurdwara, mosque, temple, wherever you believe in. Why? Because when you give, you grow. When you receive, you may survive. And I'm sure that you are not here just for the survival, but for the growth for sure. And yeah, while you do so, remember to appreciate what you do, what others do for you. And even it does not meet the criteria of what comes around, what goes around comes around, continue to do so, because it is said that what you appreciate appreciates you back eventually. And remember how we are going to remain connected every Sunday. This is a quick reminder for technical session at 10 p.m. Monday again for a technical session on 10 p.m. Tuesday you must attend RRP session. That is the gateway of your placement. That's the reference ready resume preparation, because it strengthens your visibility in guru schools, and thereby strengthens your credibility that you are not here just for the learning but to get placed for sure. And that's the reason you are ready to show up always, so that it enhances your possibility of marketability, so that you get a quick call. And various calls for your quick interviews. And Wednesday you can do the assignment from the learning of Sunday. And Thursday again you need to attend the RRP session. I know that everything will be same, but show up is mandatory over here, because this is only the gateway that strengthens visibility, credibility, and marketability. Friday you do your all assignment. Remaining event that is from the learning of even Monday, that you can complete on assignment. And still it is not done, remember to complete it before Saturday. And then you can choose to relax or have a breather day, or do the research work if you want to, or just repeat whatever you have learned. And while you are repeating, any recording is shared with you, remember to hit the like button and leave your comment as a hashtag replay if you're watching replay. If you're not watching replay and listening to it live, remember to leave a comment, hashtag live, because you will be attending that recording live. And then I will get to know that, yes, you have not missed, you have followed this, and prepare any question that you want to answer on the next technical session. So this is how we are going to remain connected. Is it good reminder for all of you are ready to follow? Say yes if you understood. Everyone?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
I
yes.
do.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you so much. So let's continue. Again, I am going to repeat my question, which I repeated just before hitting the record button. Anyone here for the first time you are attending live with us?
Yes, this
SCODY?
is my first time.
Yeah, Anita and Ankita. So, Ankita, could you please introduce yourself quickly, as in from where you are connecting, uh, what's your educational background, as well as any work experience in IT or anywhere you have or not? Ankita first.
Sir. I am connecting from Michigan and
Mhm,
I have done my bachelor's from fashion design, NIFT Kolkata, and then I did my master's in design too. That was from
mhm,
NIFT Delhi. I do
mhm,
have experience in web design for two
mhm,
years. And
mhm.
then apart from that, I don't have any particular IT experience. I do have certain design and UX experience, but not in the exact software field.
All
That's
right,
about
not a
me.
problem. Thank you. Thank you so much, Ankita. So, Ankita, in case you have joined recently, have you gone through all the recording or at least day one?
I went to day one. Yes.
Okay, you went to day one. So I
Yeah.
request you, in case you have skipped a few elements and forwarded, I would request you to go through them one more time so that your context will be quite clear, and will refrain you to ask those questions which I have already answered
Okay.
in day one. Yeah, Ankita, if you
Sure,
have
sure.
skipped any element, please go through it as if you were attending a recording. Yeah.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome. Let's hear from Anita now. Anita, over to you. Could you please introduce yourself?
Okay, hi, this is Anita. I am from New Jersey, and I do have my bachelor's in engineering, but I did not get into any IT as soon as
Mhm.
I completed. But then now I'm working as a medical admin for the past few years.
Mhm.
And yep, I would like to, pursue or grow in IT.
All right. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Anita, for sharing that. Anita, by any
Mhm.
chance, have you gone through the recording, like Ankita said, the
Yeah, day one
entire?
I did. No, day
Okay.
one I did, but not the rest of them.
So day one, in case you have not attended, like as if you were attending live and you have skipped any part, I will again one more time request you, please go through as if you were attending live, because your most of the question get answered over there, and
Mm-hmm.
it does not let you ask it again. Otherwise, we are happy to answer any question. Okay,
Okay, sure.
Anita, yeah, you need
Uh-huh,
not to
sure.
go through everything. In case you don't understand today's and tomorrow's session, I believe it doesn't happen, because me and Prerna both are the trainer, and others will can really vouch for that we go in a very easy manner, in a way that all of you can understand the stuff. But yeah, so this is for you, that definitely you can go through the only day one's recording. One more hand raised, I see. Yeah,
Okay,
Darshan,
thank
could
you.
you? You're welcome, Anita. So Darshan, could you please introduce yourself as well?
Yes, my name is Darshan Pansal. I just completed my master degree in NGIT. I live in New York, and also I completed my graduation in MS in management, and my specialization is business analyst. But I don't have any background of IT, so
Any other work experience, Darshan, other than
no,
IT?
I have 1 year experience with accounting only.
All right. Thank you so much, Darshan. Same message goes for you as well. That kindly attend day one's session as if you were attending them live, so that your maximum question get answer over there. So thank you so much for joining in over here, Darshan, Anita, and Ankita. Welcome to Guru School. So let's get started from the from where we had left off. But before we start, I want to ask, who can answer me this thing, that still you remember the bare minimum, or say that in layman's language, when I told what is agile, what comes in your mind? Who can tell me? And you don't have to be always right. So it's okay. Whatever comes in your mind, go ahead. I'm here to listen. Who can answer this? What's Agile?
It's a methodology.
Yes, Anita. Thank you so much. And
Agile,
yeah, go ahead, Vino.
yeah, Agile is a foundation of IT.
Brilliant. It's a foundation of delivery, foundation of IT. That's brilliant. And what is Scrum then?
It is a type of agile framework.
It's
So
type of
the
Agile framework.
yeah,
Yeah, that's right.
Scrum comes under a bigger umbrella that is agile, and
That's absolutely right.
it is a proven methodology for a software development team that provides them a structure how to implement agile practices.
Yes, so Scrum is a framework. So I also use in a very easy term that if Agile is a foundation, then what is Scrum in it? Who remember that?
Pillar.
Yeah, that's absolutely right, Sana. Thank you so much, Agile is pillar.
You're
And
welcome.
one more term we oftenly used while we started with Agile and Scrum, and that was the keyword was sprint. So who can tell me what do we mean by sprint?
Quick time box, something like that.
Quick time box, or what else?
Yeah.
Other term for time box?
It's a
Eight,
defined
eight, eight.
time duration.
Yeah, Noshin, could you please repeat?
It's a defined time duration
It's defined time duration to do what?
to do the project.
To do the project.
Complete a certain
Okay.
amount of work.
Yeah, Vincia, you said something. Which
Deliver
Set
value to
Please go ahead. Deliver value
deliver
to
value to customer
deliver
in short
value to
iterations. Yeah.
Yes, yes. And one more term we used here, that was the product backlog. Can someone tell me what is product backlog?
Product backlog is the whole entire of the requirements which are the whole entire requirements which are later broken into smaller pieces.
Exactly, you are absolutely right, Smita. Product backlog is the prioritized requirement broken down into the smaller workable item or more smaller pieces, you can say. And these could be, I told you that it starts from epic, then go into features and user story, then term further broken down as if it will become the activities for every single person. And then we say that in Scrum framework, if Scrum is the time, sprint is the time duration, and in Scrum is that is a framework in which it helps Agile to follow. Scrum is a framework using that software gets delivered, and software does not get delivered all at once. It gets delivered in a sprint wise. Various sprint will let the software get delivered, and every sprint will have the start time and end time. Okay, and if one sprint is decided with whatever the time duration, it will become always the same. Okay, with me so far, everyone? Any question till now? If no question, can we proceed further?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, and we last time looked at the various roles. Okay, and can someone tell me what were the various roles?
Product owner, scrum master, and development team.
Yeah, there was one more role. The fourth one. Who can tell me?
Sprint
review.
No, one role.
Stakeholders.
Stakeholder, that's absolutely right. And then we went into all the ceremonies that happens in the Scrum. Okay, all the ceremonies. And who can tell me what all the ceremony happens?
Scrum planning.
Sprint
Daily
planning,
stand-up. Yeah,
daily
sprint planning.
stand-up.
Scrum review.
Okay,
Sprint
sprint review. Yeah,
Sprint review and
Sprint
sprint
retrospective.
retrospective.
Planning, daily
retrospect.
scrum,
Analysis and design.
Yeah,
implementation.
no. So what people said just now, yeah, thank you so much for all the responses. You were right. That is sprint planning. After planning, you do the daily scrum meeting, and after daily scrum, you do the sprint review meeting, and then before you could start the another sprint, you will do your
Sprint
retrospective.
Perspective.
Exactly. And can someone tell me retrospective is made up of two words? What are those? Retrospective is made up of two words, and what do you find in that? What are those two
Final
words?
execution.
No. So retrospective is made up of two words, as the name suggests. Okay. What two words you find in it?
Review.
Okay.
To do it again, to review something.
Okay. But can you tell me what all those two words are there in the retrospective word itself?
Retro and
inspection.
Yes, you are absolutely right. It's a retro and spect. Retro means past, spect means to watch. Okay. Look at the past and then pull all the learning and then utilize the action plan out of those learning into the next sprint. That is the purpose behind the retrospect. Now, you know that in every Scrum framework, whatever the Scrum framework are, obviously they would look like something like this. Okay. Their, project vision and how frequent you are planning your those backlogs. Okay. And you will discuss those in the planning meeting, that we call it as a sprint planning meeting. And in sprint planning meeting, whatever the prioritized item you will discuss, they will become as a sprint what?
planning. Sprint
Yeah,
planning.
And backlog.
exactly. These product backlog, when prioritize and discuss in the sprint planning meeting, they will be called as sprint backlog, but those are also outcome of the entire sprint. And such entire sprint uh, is intended to get deployed for customers usage. We do certain activity into that. We start working considering this sprint backlog as a goal of that sprint. That will be the outcome we need to produce. With me so far, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. Yes. And when you finalize, you understand that who will do what and how long they will take to do that. They continuously work every single day, but this event continuously every single day occur. Okay. How long this event occur, everyone?
Every single day.
Every
15
single
minutes.
day. But how long? What will be the
15
duration
minutes.
every single? Yeah,
20
15
minutes.
minutes.
4 weeks.
Yeah.
5
15 minutes. 15 minutes. If you say
Okay.
4 week, then entire these activities can be of maximum 4 weeks. When you say 4 weeks, means it is not always in every project 4 week. It can be maximum of 4 weeks, the entire slide, but minimum can be as minimum as one day. Moderate is 2 weeks and maximum is 4 weeks. Generally, it is considered moderate, and that's the reason most of the time you will find it is of 2 weeks or 3 weeks, something like that. With me so far, everyone?
Yes.
Yes.
When I
Yeah.
say two weeks, what do we mean by in terms of days? How many days? 2 weeks will be how many
14.
days?
14 days.
Okay. Any other guesses?
10 days.
10 days.
10 days. That's absolutely right. Why 10 days? Why not 14 days?
Because it's
5
a week.
working days.
Working days.
Yeah, working days are 10 days, okay, barring Saturday and Sunday. And when we say 14 days means how many hours? Sorry, 10 days means how many hours?
80 hours.
80 hours.
80 hours, absolutely right. Okay, so every single day you do this meeting stand up, okay, for 10 minutes. Then one fine day you realize, okay, whatever the outcome is there, that has been already discussed every single day, and that has almost ready to get moved towards the done. But let's invite our customer and get a review from them. Okay, and that meeting will be called as what?
Sprint review.
Sprint
Sprint
review.
review.
Sprint
Even
review.
customer is agree and customer is happy, gives you a good review, then you decide, okay, let's move it towards the deployment, but while it is getting deployed, let's also have a retrospection and invite everyone, take their learning out as well and turn their learning into action item. With me so far, what all these 4 ceremonies will happen in one sprint? Yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So understand one thing is very important over here. So I said that multiple, sprint will happen. Say for example, one long project is there and it can have either 4 sprint. And say for example, if 4 sprint, every sprint is of 4 weeks, how long this is entire project would be?
16.
16 weeks.
Yeah, means how many months minimum?
4 months.
4 months.
4 months, 4 months, absolutely right. So every sprint is of 4 weeks. It means that it will be having the 4 months of time for project completion. And as you say that why fixed length and time box, because every sprint will be time box. It means that its start date will be there, end date will be there, and it will always remain the same for every single sprint, provided in whatever the sprint is broken. Okay, so that we can release it very rapidly. That's the focus of the agile. And every backlog item will have the enough time to get executed, and it will be useful for customer to start working on them. Okay, so and it is said that once whatever the sprint, whatever the time duration you will decide for one sprint, it will remain as is for the all other sprints. With me so far, everyone?
Yes.
Okay, so now because you have the background now, so these phases in which you will incept and then you will execute and then you will deliver. So like do you remember the waterfall model I had shared with you in the past? What all the phases waterfall model will have? You remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it starts with requirement gathering and all, and it had its name. So up to support and maintenance. Likewise, in agile life cycle, these are few names. Okay. What do you see? First one is called as?
Concept.
Concept.
Concept scoping.
Scoping.
Yeah, concept or scoping. What do you think what would be happening in this phase? Concept or scoping?
Like what's the concept and what is the scope to work on it?
Yeah, exactly. As the name suggests, was concept or scope. Means you will work more towards requirement. More towards what, everyone?
Requirement.
Requirement. Exactly, you are right. And once requirement is understood, then you incept them. Okay. And you finalize all these things. So what is the second element in this second? Resources, resourcing. Okay, so you will become more resourceful and go to incept. And once it is done, then you go ahead with the third. What do you read in third?
Iterate.
Iterate or designing. Yeah, you are right. So here more work will be done by coders, UI UX designer. They continue to iterate the designs, and as well as testing, and all these activities will be done. It means that entire development team will be planted over here to do their activity. And once everything is done over here, then review meeting will happen in this phase itself. And then what do you do? The fourth
Release and
one.
deployment.
Yeah, release and deployment. Imagine the entire software undergo that. Then comes the fifth one. What is fifth one? Maintain. Yeah. So maintain or change. Yes, that's right. And the sixth one comes with the retire, reinvent, or relaunch. Means you as a business analyst or future business analyst, remember to go ahead with your customer to propose some changes or encourage them to update, upgrade, or adapt something new. And then the life cycle will start again with those changes or upgradation or updates. So you can take a screenshot of this, considering these are the agile life cycle. With me so far, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah. So now, because what we have understood, all the all the ceremonies we have understood, this is the time now we go deeper in every single ceremonies. So what is the first ceremony we should start with? What is the first?
Sprint planning. Sprint planning.
Absolutely right. It's a sprint planning meeting. So let's understand the definition of this first. I want someone to read the first paragraph for me, please.
Sprint planning is an event in the Scrum framework where the team, where the team determines the product backlog items they will work on during that sprint and discusses their initial plan for completing those product backlog items.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. Yes, so this is one event, one ceremony, and this is in a sort of in a layman term. This ceremony means that this is one of the meeting, right? And what exactly happened? Um, this event will take place just to understand that what is the initial level of planning uh, would be required to complete the entire product backlog item. But tell me, would you complete the entire backlog in first sprint planning itself?
No.
No.
No, no. You will take few chosen one that will be fitting into the sprint, because it may happen if, imagine, we have 16 product backlog item. How many?
16.
16 product backlog item, and we can only accommodate maximum 4 and minimum 3 backlog item into sprint planning meeting. Accordingly, we'll take them up. Say for example, we took the 4 backlog items, and while I was taking the estimation as a product owner from all of you, and later we realized that we can complete only 3 backlog items, okay, not the fourth one. So we will be not going ahead with the fourth one. We will be keeping it deferred, or we will be considering them as part of the next sprint, and still we will go ahead with the three backlog items only. With me so far, everyone?
Yes.
Yeah, I want someone to read the second paragraph from me, please.
Teams may find it helpful to establish a sprint goal and use that as the basis by which they determine which product backlog items they work on during that sprint.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So it's all about the team, okay? This team does not require any hierarchy. This team is called as a self-motivated team, highly motivated team, and self-organizing team, okay? Because now let it sink in your mind very importantly and easily, that because this is self-organizing team, highly motivated team. Self-organizing means, and it does not require any bosses, any hierarchy. It means that when it will be asked that these are the, say for example, in one sprint, now in another example, I'm asking 8 product backlog will go in the sprint, say for example, and we have 8 team members, or say 4 team members, and I would be asking, okay, who will do this? Okay, so what do you think? What should be happening in the sprint planning meeting? I should be assigning the task to the people, yes or no, as a product owner in the
Somebody
sprint.
can come forward to do it, a volunteer to do it also.
Yeah, that's the brilliant answer. Who said that?
Smita.
Yeah, Smita, thank you so much. You are absolutely right. So Yeah, kudos. So it's a great answer, and it is how it is expected. You need to be the volunteer. You should come forward to take that up because there is no boss. And imagine, because we have two type of mindset. And you remember on the very first day I talked about that it's all about the mindset. Agile is all about the mindset as well. So in case you don't come forward because no one has assigned time and assigned task to you, you may go back in every sprint without choosing any task to do, and because no one asked you to do anything, and first sprint or second sprint will go anyway, and you showcasing that okay, you are involved in certain activity, but in reality you are not, and you have not volunteered to choose or take ownership on any item or any work to do. What could be the repercussion of that? What do you think?
Take it easy, notice you and fire you.
Sana, I couldn't hear you. Could you be louder, please?
I thought if we are not going to participate, then we could be noticed and they can fire us or could be in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely right. You guessed it right. Because I have seen in my career such kind of people, they really don't come forward, and eventually they get to move into another project, and in every project the same thing happens, and they move out of the organization as well because they are forced to move out. Okay, they don't move voluntarily, because voluntarily is the way. If they would have done, they would not have uh, to moved away. Okay, so they would have stayed for longer. So always remember this thing, that team has to find it very very helpful to come together to volunteer their own work. And once you decide what all the activities we are choosing to do in the sprint, that will become, those outcome will become sprint goal. What it will become, everyone?
Sprint
Sprint
goal.
goal.
Sprint goal. So sprint backlog are actually the outcome, which is called as the sprint goal. I want someone to read the third one.
The purpose of sprint planning is to define what can be delivered in the sprint and how that work will be achieved. Sprint planning is done in collaboration with the whole Scrum team. The what, the product owner describes the objective or goal of the sprint and what backlog items contribute to that goal.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for reading this out. Yes. So the purpose, that to define what exactly we are going to deliver. And here what will be more clearer, and that will be done with the collaboration of team. As I said, the volunteering will happen, and you get to see what all the outcome, and you are very much clear with every single objective and goal. And see, it's all about the identifying one thing. It is identifying about what?
One thing.
One thing.
One thing. And what is that one thing? Okay. One thing, if I'll give you in a very layman example, if you need to, if someone asks you, okay, tell me, um, how do you see, what do you see doing after 5 years down the line? Say, for example, you have the answer of this question, right? Just imagine as if you have the answer of this question as well, because you are very much clear in the goal. Then how would you identifying the one thing for that 5 years? You should be asking, okay, whatever I would be doing down the line of the 4 years, I should be identifying what should I be doing in the fourth year. And if I want to do whatever in the fourth year, I should be knowing what I would be doing in the third year. And whatever, if I'm very much clear what I should be doing in the third year, for the entire year, I should be very much aware that what I should be doing and what should I have done already in the second year. And if I am very much clear that what should I have achieved in the second year, I must be aware towards what I would have done till the year end this year. And if I know what I would be doing till this year end, I should be knowing that what should I have done, or what should I have started at the start of the last month of the year. And to know that, I should be very much knowing that what should I have done before that month, And to know that what I would be doing in the second last month, I should be knowing what I have done in the third last month, the fourth last month, and gradually you will come to this month. And then you will ask again, okay, whatever I wanted to achieve to the end of this month, I should be very much aware. Say, for example, for you, tomorrow is the 1st of July. And if you would be asking, what I would be starting on the 1st of August, for that, I must have finished something on the 31st of July. And to achieve that 31st of July, I should have done certain things by, uh, you know, uh, 30th July, 29th July, and then you would be knowing. And I should be very much aware what I should be doing or what I should have achieved by the end of the day today. Okay. Say, for example, you are in the morning. Okay. And to know that end of the day, you should be asking yourself, what should I have done to the start of the day? And if you are sitting a day ahead, okay, on 30th June, you should be asking, what should I be doing in the morning itself? And then to do that, what should I be prepared with right now? The moment you have the clarity of the right now, what I should have done, that is your one domino. That is your one thing that will let fall all other dominoes. You know what do I mean by the dominoes? Have you seen the example of dominoes, guys? Anyone over here? Yeah. So
No.
no, so dominoes are like just building blocks, okay? So standing one after another. So let me give you certain example. This is quite interesting for you, and that you will identify what exactly I mean to say over here when I'm talking about the domino. So let me share my screen, and that will be quite interesting for you to know. Uh-uh. See how sprint planning is quite important, that you need to know about the dominoes. I'm just example of dominoes fall. And okay, let's see in videos. Okay. So I think this is quite interesting. I see the smaller one, if I can have. Yeah, this is quite smaller. So let's go ahead with this. Can you see something on your screen? Yeah?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So, okay. So let me reshare with the sound so that it will become, no. So see what exactly he's trying to do. The sound is not there. Now here you see, he has multiple similar kind of bars. Can you see that? The smaller, then bigger, then
Yes.
bigger. Yeah.
Yes.
Now,
Yes.
the biggest one, the last one is the heaviest one. How it can be fall by one. So this person is trying to keep the thinest and sleekest one. Okay. And then move further and see how does it do. Okay. So I'll go further. Now he will just push the smallest one. That is the one thing that let you fall the biggest block. Did you get it? What is the power
Yeah.
of this one thing? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that one thing in every area of your life you need to identify. That is that powerful, that crucial. And in fact, there would be one long ago, I had found one powerful book. Its name was also The One Thing. Okay. If you can find it over internet, you can definitely go through that. So, or you can purchase that. It will be also available on Audible in case you uh, read the book or listen to the book. Okay, you can find it over there. So this is how in the sprint planning your thinking should be. Okay, what exactly we need to do, find all those one thing, and at least if you find that one thing after another thing and after other thing, if you come up with the four such item, I'm just giving the example, that can be accommodated into the one defined sprint, and whatever the timeline of that sprint you are aware of, you start go ahead making them as a part of outcome and start delivering that. Okay. Now comes who is involved in that sprint planning meeting. So who are involved? What do you see here?
Entire team.
Entire
Entire
team.
team.
Entire team except the stakeholders like vendors as well as the client are not involved in the sprint planning meeting. Okay. So here I want someone to read the second bullet point for me.
A product owner identifies the candidate product backlog items and their relative priorities, as well as proposes a sprint goal.
Yeah. So it is a product owner who decided what all the candidates, when I say candidates, what do we mean by that?
Customer?
No. So last time, if you have forgotten, I had spoken about it. I don't remember in this class or somewhere else. When I was giving you the example of the Epic, Epic will have the multiple features, activities, or user stories, and every user story will be broken down into the multiple doable tasks. Every single thing into the project management tool will be called as a ticket. Okay, what they are called as, what I said just now?
Ticket.
Tickets,
Tickets.
including the
Tickets.
bugs, defect, whatever you will log. Okay, and those tickets are sometime also called as this part. What do you read here? Where is my mouse?
Candidate.
Candidate. So sometime if you are already part of some project, you will see that product owners are talking these terms. So what happened to these candidates? Means those are what?
Tickets.
Product backlog.
Product backlog. Yeah, those are tickets, those are product backlog. And sometime because they can call it as a candidate, they also say, okay, what happened to this guy? So they, when they are into certain meetings where they are getting updates from the scrum master, or eventually by any chance if they are shown up into the stand-up meeting, although they are optional over there. Okay, but if they show up, they are concerned about a specific ticket, they would ask about it. Okay. And yeah, in the sprint planning meeting, what will happen? They will come up with those candidate as well as their relative priorities, so that they can identify the sprint outcome. That is the what? What do you read
Sprint
here at the
goal.
Sprint goal.
Sprint goal.
Sprint and goal.
That's absolutely right. You're right. Now I want someone to read the second bullet point over here.
The team members determine
determine
how many of the product backlog items they forecast they will be able to complete and determine how they will deliver those product backlog items.
Exactly, you're right. So what exactly happened when teams are giving their estimates? What they will give? Team will give what?
Estimates.
Estimate. It will be quite evident to know that how long they would be taking in achieving one task, and thereby how much we can accommodate. So in one sprint, and that can only be given once everyone will assess the timeline taken for every single backlog. Okay, and based on that only it will be determined that how many product backlog we can deliver as a part of item into one sprint. Is it clear, everyone? Quite simple to understand, right? How team member will be contributing by giving their assessment, giving their what?
Assessment.
Exactly. Now here comes the third important one. I want someone to read this.
A Scrum Master or
team
coach
member-
typically facilitates sprint planning in order to ensure that the discussion is effective and that there is agreement to the sprint goal, and that the appropriate product backlog items are included in the sprint backlog.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading this out. So not only limited what you read just now, that he will get the agreement from everyone that whatever they have committed, they can achieve it, but also make sure that sprint planning happens very smoothly, will be done in a decided timeline. Because when we are talking about the entire sprint will have the fixed timeline, it means that entire ceremonies in the in this sprint will be also having the fixed timeline with me so far, everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if the sprint is of a 1 month, 4 weeks. Then in whatever the sprint retrospective meeting that goes around last ceremony, it will also have certain time limit. If it will have the time limit, it means the sprint review meeting will also have the time limit, certain hours. And if it is time limit, then likewise stand up meeting, to which we call it as a daily stand up meeting or daily scrum meeting, was having the certain timeline, fixed time length. And that's the reason this entire sprint planning will have the certain time length, and scrum master will make sure that he will be making it or he will be assuring that it is getting finished in the timely manner. Okay, so scrum master is also called as this, what it is?
Coach.
Coach. Okay, so there are multiple terms for the scrum master, and he is the his motto is to do this activity. What is this activity?
Facilitate.
Facilitate. He facilitate. When he facilitate, it means that he enables everyone to do their activity, and for that, whatever is required, like in the room, this sprint planning meeting will happen in a certain room. Okay, in the room, everyone is present. They are available in the timely fashion, in the before time. Whatever they need to discuss, video conferencing is there. If someone is connecting in remote, everyone is connected through remote. If they require to connect it through remote, everyone is having the connection bridge link and all. Making sure that everyone will show up. If they are connected remote, their video is on, and if they are available face to face, everyone is visible. So these all activities as a part of scrum master. Even if they need to discuss, to scribe something on whiteboard, or pen and paper is required, sticky notes are required, everything he makes sure that it has been arranged. He doesn't do it by himself or herself, but because he is a facilitator, he will make sure everything gets arranged. So accordingly, he will pass the instruction. Pass what, everyone? Instruction. So with this note, this is who is involved in the sprint planning. Now you have the idea. Now, where does it happen? That is the interesting, because I just now touched this point. I would request Prerna to take it from here. So Prerna, if you can take to the next slide. Let me invite.
Yeah, sure, Gaurav. Yeah.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So we are, learning the very important, one of the very important and initial ceremony, that is, sprint planning. And Gaurav has been sharing very important details, like, uh, what is the process and how it starts. So one of the important topics, or one of the important element of this meeting, is where it is taking place. So as mentioned below, so as mentioned, we have, just try to consider these, details have been put together before Corona. So, that time it was, I would say, assumed, or it is preferred to have the team physically also located at the same location. Okay. I'm saying preferred, though we have geographically, divided teams at different locations. But then here they generally preferred everyone to be at the same location. So it was like a, I would say, process that there used to be physical meeting. Physical meeting means in-person meeting, People used to come together and sit at one location and go on like that. But herein, even in this such scenarios where teams are not at similar location, you can definitely opt for or go ahead with the virtual meetings, right? It can be on Zoom, it can be on Link, it can be on Teams. So let us start with how we decide for a good location for sprint planning. So yeah, can I request someone to read out the first sentence, please?
A good location for sprint planning is the team room, so that you have access to all the information about your product backlog and you can reference and update any information radiators you may use.
Yes. So what it says is, that we should require a team room, where we have access to all the information and, all the backlog updates. And basically, you can opt for a conference room. You have to ensure how many people, how many team members are, part of this meeting. And what we have to, check that all the informations that is required for the sprint. Like for example, like if you're connecting from a conference room, you should be able to connect to your machines. You should be in organizations, what happens? Sometimes the project related data is also kept on a shared folder, right? So you do not have to connect to your laptop or your machine or something like that. So you have to check first of all that access is there. You're able to check the project related documents or project status report, or anything that backlog items you can access. So first of all, you need to know that you have access to all this information from whichever location you're connecting from. It can be from home, it can be from a conference room, it can be virtual, it can be anywhere. So that is a very important thing, because unless you have access to these things, how can you go ahead with your discussions, right? So that is first and foremost. Second point, yeah, please go ahead, anyone. Second point.
If your team is distributed, sprint planning represents a good opportunity to gather everyone together so that your planning discussions can be more effective and to reinforce the person to person connections of the team.
Yes. So what it says is, if your team is distributed, that is what we have been mentioning, that if it is geographically at different locations, so in that scenario, it is a good idea that, bring everyone together. See, what happens in your day-to-day course, you get tied up in your work, you continue to work within your own teams, or, with your colleagues. But then in case if you have a global team, like in certain scenarios, there's some teams, some of the team members sit in Europe, some of the team members sit in Asia, some members sits in US. So how do you ensure that they all know what they're working on, that they all are connected? So this meeting is one of the very good, I would say, events where we realize that, it gives you an opportunity that everybody comes together and they are aware, like, okay, for the next sprint, what we have to work on, what are the details available, what are the work items are there. So, and though it is not explicitly mentioned here, but then if you are at one location, if you're at one office, then definitely a conference room, depending on the team size. So whatever capacity of 20, capacity of 15, whatever works for you. But in case if the team is geographically at different location, then definitely over a virtual setup. So everybody is clear on this. Any doubts? Yes. Where does
Yeah.
planning take place? Yeah, yeah. Thank you so much. Dora, can we go to next slide, please? Yeah, Dora, we can move on to next slide. Okay. Okay, now where we are aware that, okay, any location, virtual meeting, and with how many or who all should be there. So the next and important question is when it takes place, when this particular event is considered, or it is executed or implemented. So as simple as that, it is a sprint planning event, then it will be definitely before the sprint. That is the most logical thing to happen. Should we should do so. we start your upcoming sprint with the sprint planning meeting. Okay. So that is what is mentioned in the first sentence. I will request someone to read that out, please.
Sprint planning occurs on the first day of a new sprint. The event should occur after the sprint review and retrospective from the previous sprint so that any output from those discussions can be considered when planning for the new sprint. It does not have to occur immediately after those other two events. You'll find it's best to place a higher priority on scheduling sprint planning when the entire team is available. You may find that it's best to have a standing, consistent time for sprint planning so that your team can keep that time slot clear from other engagements.
Yeah, absolutely right. Thank you for reading it out. So what it says is, first of all, it has to be at the beginning of the sprint or the first day of the sprint. That was logical, and we understood that. Second point is, once your earlier sprint gets over, like you're done with the client review, you're done with the introspective retrospective within your with your team, and you found the learnings of that particular sprint, and so basically your earlier sprint is properly completed, it's delivered, then definitely it's a time for the upcoming sprint. So it has to be, it should not be the case that you're already working on the earlier sprint and in between, like half-baked cake, you're getting into some other work. No, this is a proper formal process. You have to complete the earlier sprint, very well. Like, put a stop to it, put an end to it, that okay, it is completed, it's done, and then you take up the new sprint. Okay, it's very important. I'm emphasizing on this is because uh, you do not want to toggle between the sprint. Okay, so you always ensure as a team member, as a scrum master, as a product owner, or as a BA even, that we have to complete the earlier sprint. Okay, then we go to the next sprint plan. And so what they're saying that it should not be the case. It has to be very immediate. But yes, maybe keeping a gap of 1 or 2 days, depending on your sprint cycle or how your team is, uh, what is the work culture. But generally, it is, once your earlier sprint is over, then maybe keep a breather of for one say, or generally see it's planned in such a manner, like it is a for example, if it is a sprint of 2 weeks. Okay, so 2 weeks, like by the next week, it's Friday, the sprint gets over, the sprint is implemented, it's delivered, and you also have your maybe review on the same day, retrospective also might be. I'm just giving a hypothetical example. So in such a scenario, what happens is, you get a break on weekends as well. So that break is considered as a break prior to starting a new sprint, and you move on. It's not the case that you will have to take a break on the weekdays, but your sprints are planned in such a fashion that you do get a breather in between for starting a next before starting a next sprint. Okay, this is an important aspect. Always remember this. And next, always, it's mentioned that we have to have a consistent time for sprint planning. That means, if we have a sprint of say 2 weeks, then you would have at least 4 hours of time, for the planning. It should not be the case where this time you took 4 hours, next time you're taking one day, after that you're taking 2 days, or sometimes you are finishing in 2 hours. No, we have to ensure that, you know, uh, we are completing the discussion, we are completing the meeting in the estimated and constant time, because it's like that, it's a ratio. So 1 week's sprint, you spend 2 hours for training. For 2 weeks sprint, you spend 4 hours of training. So basically, it's a ratio of for how much duration, how much amount of time you will invest for the planning. So I know this sounds very theoretical, but trust me, it's very important in day-to-day life. When you're actually working on such scenarios, on your sprint, on your work, it's really good to know what are the timings, how much time is dedicated given for sprint planning, and how much like how you're planning such scenarios. So though it might look very theoretical as of now, but it is all practical in real life. These things are thoroughly follows wherever sprint and scrum is being implemented. So take some time, try to digest this concepts, I will say, in your mind, in your brain, and just go with the flow as of now, because all this information is quite new for you guys. So no, there might be some questions or some doubts, but that's okay. Once you keep learning more and more about it, I think you will be at a very comfortable place to understand. Yes. So any doubts about when does the sprint planning take place? Anybody? Yes, no? Yeah. What about others? By the way, thank you so much to people who are responding, who are talking. But others who are on constant mute, which is honestly very surprising because it's an interactive session. So guys who are on constant mute, can you please
I'm
unmute and
sorry to interrupt you. We
yeah,
can't hear you clearly.
Yeah, it's a
yeah.
bit
Is it?
shaky.
Oh,
Yeah. Is
we
it
can hear you
clear
now.
now?
Yes,
It's
yes.
clear now.
Thank
Yeah, it's
you.
clear. It's better.
Okay, okay. I'm so sorry. I mean, I'm in the same position, but I think sometimes because of network fluctuation, yeah, it is clear now, right? So I was just saying, I was actually requesting to people who are on constant mute that they could unmute and speak up if they, if there's any doubt. If no, then I'll request. Yeah, Gaurav, can we go to next slide, please? Yeah. Yes. Now this is one of the important topics that we do have a checklist. Okay, sprint planning meeting checklist. So what does this checklist do? That this checklist is from the angle or from the perspective of each and every member. Okay. So first of all, the checklist is from the Scrum Master's point of view. So basically, we have kind of bifurcated this checklist from individual roles. Like for example, if you have any particular event at your place, like for example, if there is a wedding in your family, right, then then are you like I think you can agree that everybody is allocated some work. Like for example, maybe the brothers are assigned the work of checking out the catering, or or checking out the decoration, or somebody, the parents are in charge of getting the gold and other expensive things, or somebody else is in charge of venue selection or something like that. So yes or no, for any bigger event, we kind of
Yes.
delegate the
Yes.
work. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
yes.
Because
Makes
then
sense.
everybody, thank you so much, because then everybody has their own set of responsibilities and others don't have to look into that, right? So yes, segregation of work. So same way, there is a checklist for sprint planning from everyone's point of view. Okay, let us start with a Scrum Master. So yeah, can someone start with the Scrum Master points, please? Yeah.
Video
Video
conference,
con.
screen share, and or Polycom access information set up and shared. Schedule meeting space.
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Prepare and
Next.
publish agenda.
Okay.
Check
Absolutely
cal
right.
check calendars for company holidays, training, events, travel, and employee time off.
Mm-hmm.
For tactile artifacts, replenish supplies of markers, post-its, 3x5 cards, pens, pins, etc.
Okay, so have you noticed it is mentioned in such a detail? Like, first of all, we are saying that we should have, or we should book a video conferencing, because we are considering that the team might be at a at different locations. So yes, so first of all, check with the video conferencing part. It's a setup or not. Have you shared the meeting ID with with all the team members? And second is schedule meeting space, that we just discussed, that which location that we are, you're working on, any conference room, anything that we are need to work on. give me a second. Yeah. So, what we were saying is that schedule meeting space, that, ensure the location, conference room, and second is prepare and publish agenda. Now, this is a quite important topic, like important task, I would say. Everybody is aware of agenda, yes or no? Anybody here who is not heard this word or who is not aware? Yes, please speak up. Agenda. Everybody is aware of agenda.
It's like a goal, like to do things, to work on it,
Yeah,
something
to
like that.
discuss
Yeah,
things. Absolutely.
discuss
Yes,
things.
yes. So agenda is basically agenda is shared before any meetings or any discussions. So it's like what we need to discuss during the meetings. What we'll be touch basing upon, or what are the pointers that is shared prior to the meeting. So that is a responsibility of the Scrum Master, that prepare and publish that prior to meeting, so everybody understands what we will be discussing, and what are the points, and they can prepare themselves, or they can get some additional information in that case. Next point is check calendars for company holidays. So basically, before sending an invite, or having this meeting, we need to ensure that everybody is available. Now, though this point sounds very simple or silly at times, but there, when you have a team geographically divided, like for example, see, 4th of July being a Thursday, it's a working day here, but then US, it is like a big celebration. It's gonna be a holiday, right? So definitely we can't have a meeting on 4th of July with team members sitting in US, because they won't be there. So as
Correct.
simple as that. So bigger holidays, everybody knows, like Christmas and Diwali, and other festivals. But then we need to check the calendars for all the team members, that are they available or not. Because in case if they are, and not only for holidays, sorry, not only for public and other holidays, but in case they are on vacation, So basically check everyone's calendar and set up meeting accordingly. Next point is you know all the supplies, like not only the conference room, but see the amount of depth. They have mentioned that posted cards, pens, and pins, and whatever, any material that is required, starting with the markers. And trust me, in organization, sometimes it's a pain to get a good working, properly writing, I would say, marker or stuff like that. So it is a sole responsibility of Scrum Master to ensure that whatever is required, please make it available. And can you see, it is mentioned facilitator below Scrum Master
Yes.
tag? Yes,
Yes.
no?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So what it means is that he or she is the person who facilitates, who basically organizes and manages this entire event. Okay. So he or she is the facilitator of this event. Okay. Next point is from the product owner point of view. And then what does the product owner does? He sets the goal and priority. Always remember this. So from his point, from his, I would
Sorry.
say, his
Sorry.
angle towards this meeting, or his motive or purpose towards this meeting, is he needs to set the goal and the priority for the overall meeting. So, what should be, what we have to prioritize, what we have to achieve from this discussion, what should be the outcome of the discussion. All that he is, the one who is working on it. So, yeah, can you go ahead with by reading out the points?
Ensure
Ensure
backlog item candidates are ready. according to the team's definition already, if a definition already exists for the team. Make sure the skills and capabilities of team members are known and are generally aligned with the needs of the backlog item candidates for the sprint.
Yeah, thank you so much for reading it out. So what it says is, uh, ensure the backlog items are ready according to the team's definition of done or definition of ready. So that simply means that whatever work items are present, they should be as per the earlier work priority. That means whatever work was designed or dedicated or that was confirmed in the earlier sprint to be delivered, that has to be and needs to be delivered. And after that, whatever is pending or whatever is available in the backlog item, those item needs to be taken up as per priority. So that is one thing. Second, we need to ensure, like he need to ensure, he or she, that all the team members are aware of each other's skill set. Okay, so basically sometimes what happens that in a bigger team, in a geographically divided team, it's not always possible, or sometimes if somebody is a new joiner or stuff like that, they are not aware about what is the other person's or other team members skill set and things like that. So we need to be aware about, okay, this is a person who's an expert in database, okay, this is a person who's a very good designer or who designs the outlet, and stuff like that. So all these things are required for the team to know, because then tomorrow while implementing, while working on it, if you have any doubts, if you have any concerns, if you have any roadblocks, then you know to whom to approach to. Okay. So if you have any concerns with database connections and stuff like that, then you can always go ahead and connect with the person and say, hey, I have this doubt, can you please help me out with this? And then, I think they will be more than happy to connect and check that, what is the issue and how we can sort it out. So that's why it's very important that we should know what the other team is working on, what are their strengths, what are their I would say specialization in. So it overall helps the team as a whole, right? Like, imagine if during your school, college days, you were doing group studies, then you always ensured, right? That, okay, somebody who is good in math should be in your team, somebody who is good in science, or, they can explain well, they should be in your team. So stuff like in your group, not in your team. So, you had a very good mixture of everyone who is good in every subject. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Why?
Yes.
Yes.
Because it helped each other. It helped the entire group, right? So you had an expert from each subject, and then they kind of helped others to, understand that other subject better. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
work very effectively as a team. That is what it means. Yeah. Makes sense? Any doubt?
No.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for responding. Can we move to the development team now? Yeah. Go ahead.
Update the team's
Development team.
definition.
Go ahead.
Update the team's definition of done as needed and make sure it is easy to reference during the meeting.
Okay. So what it says is, first of all, what is the development team's agenda, or I would say outcome of this meeting is that plans the work to be done and determines how much it will take. So when we say plans the work to be done means, see, everything given, like product owner will set up the priorities, or scrum master will facilitate the entire I would say meeting. But then always remember development team is the main, I must say, action place, or they are the main grassroots level people who actually develop or who actually work. Okay, I'm not saying that others don't, but developers will develop the code, designer will make the design, testers will do the actual testing and give it a pass or no or fail. So that's why these are the people who are actually working on your on your dedicated item. So that's why their plan is quite important. Their priority should be aligned with the sprint priority, and then they kind of inform everybody about their definition of done. That means, okay, what is completely done, completely delivered, and then they need to ensure that whatever they are you know whatever has been discussing in the meeting, they are in line with that. Like for example, if product owner, I would say, proposes a particular item as per customers request or customers demand to be developed in this sprint, then the development team has to be on the same page and accept that to work upon. In case if there are any dependencies or any difficulties in working on that, they should highlight, okay, no, we cannot take up this point because we do have dependency on this item. We need to take up a different point. So stuff like that. So that is what we are trying to say, that update the team's definition of done as needed and make sure it is easy to reference during the meeting. That means whatever work the team has completed in earlier sprint or whatever work they are planning to complete, that needs to be referenced, that needs to be mentioned, that needs to be highlighted during the team. So basically, what the team wants to work on or what the team will be working on should be in line with the actual, planned work of the sprint. Any doubts in this? Everybody clear? So in short, development team's sole responsibility is that they should be able to, or they have to they should agree to what has been planned for development. Make sense? Yes, no? Anyone?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. So have
Yes.
you try to make the, I would say, correspondence, like one who is the facilitates, one who makes the priority, and then ultimately the entire team who works on the delivery. Yeah. Yeah. Gaurav, we
Yes.
can go to next slide, please. Okay, now one of my favorite parts. Now this is the give me a second. Yes, now these are one of my, I mean, these are the favorite elements of the entire sessions, I personally feel, because whatever discussion we have, all the theories we explain, those can be very well summed up with the help of.
No, no. 10 later मैं हैंगर लेके आ रही हूँ. No base, no base.
Yeah. Guys, please go on mute.
ऊपर
Yeah.
सो रही हो?
Yeah.
Okay, अपने रूम में जाओ. अम्मी को बता के जाओ.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, I was speaking on mute. So yes, all the discussions that we have had till now, that has been very nicely put into this easy to understand diagram. Okay. So what? So and by the way, it is very simple, in very simplified manner. It has been kind of segregated between input, sprint planning, and output. Okay. So what are the things that go into the planning? What are the things that are actually happening into the sprint during the sprint planning, and what should be the output, like what are you expecting to get out of this entire process, that is mentioned here. Okay. So first and foremost, can you see these two guys, one with the suitcase and one with the nice goggles or specs? Yes. On the
Yes.
left hand side below input. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
So though there is a little gender bias, I personally feel, but still consider them as a Scrum Master. Yeah, absolutely. We could have had a women representative there. So yes, nevertheless, so assume they are the Scrum Master and product owner, okay? And then they are with the product backlog. So one of them is a Scrum Master and the other person is a product owner, and they have the entire work list or set of work item that needs to be worked upon. Okay, first thing first. Second, capacity and velocity. I think I have already mentioned. I'm not sure in this group, but Gaurav has had made a very nice and and very in detail video about the capacity and velocity of the team, what it means, what how we understand that. So I'll request him to share that video YouTube link on our group so you can understand. And it simply means that how much work your team can complete based on their skill set, based on their availability, based on their overall delivery pace or delivery speed. So that we have to understand. And then from that, you also have a nice icon of lock mentioned as constraint, that, okay, what are the constraint in what are the constraints we have in achieving all these things, like, okay, are there any planned leaves, or or is any particular work item very tough to implement, or is there any dependency on other work? So all these things are mentioned here, and they are like considered as constraints. Yes. And then from that, these are, by the way, and last but not the least, the important thing is current product status. So currently, from the I would say product backlog, how much work you have completed, how much work is still required to be done. So all that status, all that data has to be with you. So that is mentioned here. So this all things goes in plan or as an input, like what all you get into while the planning is required, what all things you need for the sprint planning. So during sprint planning, what happens? So the entire team member, now you can see all the colorful people with different clothes and different hair color mostly, and then they are sitting together and discussing. And then first of all, they're discussing what means, what all work items we need to work on, what all the product backlog items that are there that they need to complete and deliver. So basically you look at the scope of the work. And second is how. So how basically means how are we planning to implement this? How are we planning to ensure that we complete this work? Like in case if there are any technical challenge, any dependency, we are supposed to ask each other. You are supposed to come out with solutions, or at least have first round of discussions. And then so the during the Scrum planning meeting, we discuss, okay, what all work needs to be done. And second is how means you can actually come up with a plan. And okay, this is a 2 week sprint, and then maybe in first week we can complete 50% of this way of the work, and then okay, and then as they are the self motivated and self managed team, everybody knows what are their tasks. The developer will take all the development related work. Designer will go ahead with the designing part. Or database expert will start the database implementation, connection with the string, and getting the data flowing from back end to front end and things like that. So yes, everybody starts imagining and planning their work about how, and that also helps for the plan preparation and the output. Now this is an important part. The output is, as a team they achieve the sprint goal. You see that sprint goal column image? It's like dart and that chart
Yeah.
thing. Yeah, so absolutely. So you are hitting the goal. You're getting what you had planned. You are completely finally receiving or achieving your target about the sprint goal. And then even after achieving the sprint goal, you are left with the pending and remaining sprint backlog. Like for items, and then once those are completed, then your sprint backlog is of remaining 30 work items. Okay, so that way your sprint backlog is also updated. So this is a very interesting and important image. I would recommend you to take a picture of this and have it in your notes. Take a printout, stick on your above your study table or study area if you have any proper, and always revisit this image, because all the things that we have learned in last I would say session or earlier session, all that has been summarized here in a picture. And why picture? Because pictures have a greater memory impact than the theory. So you always tend to remember more details in a confident and clear manner. So take this picture of this image, and it should be really helpful for you before any interviews or before talking about these topics to anybody else. Yeah. So yes, we are almost time. I'll just check with Gaurav. Yeah. So Gaurav, should we take a pause here because we're
Yeah,
almost
definitely.
done?
Yes. Yeah, thank you so much,
Yeah.
Prerna,
Over
for
to
taking
you,
this
Gaurav.
up.
Yeah.
So yeah, guys,
Most
thank you.
welcome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much for staying till here and getting about sprint planning. Now it's time for quick attendance. Just type in your name into the WhatsApp group. And after that, just type one word that you feel like saying after the session, what you have. Okay. And I'll be taking everyone's attendance later, but you just drop it now. Okay. And then I'll reconcile it later. Thank you so much for joining in. We'll talk to you again tomorrow. Bye bye. Take
Thank you
care.
so
Good night.
much.
Thank you. Bye
Thank you.
bye.
Thank you, everyone.